This is actually, behind me you can see a frame of what was an original stereograph by the Keystone View Company. This was a piece that helped market stereographs, so it's sort of a meta image. I took that and I added other elements from other stereographs to it. So the polar bear and this Indian chief were in other stereographs. And I brought in the pairs, the left and right pairs, to work with them in a 3D space. I also used the texts from the backs of these two cards and altered them. So when I pull images from a source, I also pull the text with it. So I'm combining narratives.
Motivations may have been different.
Yeah, well, especially with the card set here, I was interested in creating kind of a world tour, something these companies did, and I wanted to update that with a more globalized world, and in a sense a more advanced stage of the forces of colonialism and even post-colonialism. It's all sort of stages of globalization, and what that means is a mixing of cultural forces and symbols. And so I was certainly collecting characters and images and objects from all over the world and swooshing them densely into new spaces. And so in a way, the card set is like a cabinet of curiosities in that sense, that it's collecting. This piece is called Dry Hanger. I was fascinated with these images of old blimp hangars from the 20s and 30s. And this is where they were constructing like a Zeppelin, but this is in the US. And so I added this foreground with this tree and these men from, I believe it was Turkey, and some goats, some ropes, debris they're chewing on. And this series, I'm thinking about humans' relationships with nature. The way this work started for me was I was cutting up old encyclopedias and making these small dioramas of plains. You know, in the foreground there might be a farmer, and in the background there might be a cathedral, in the background there might be the Himalayas. And they were just these plains, picture planes pushed together from around the world. And while I was messing around with those and making them for, birthdays of my relatives, things like that, I saw stereographs for the first time. I believe it was at my eye doctor's, and ended up buying my first stereoscope from my eye doctor because these used to be used as tools.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the cards looked different. They would have markers, sometimes numbers on scenes. Sometimes they were very abstract and minimal, but they asked you to do certain eye tricks. Focus on the bear. Now focus on the right. And some of them were quite strenuous. And actually, looking back, when I was a kid, I did a lot of this kind of work, trying to figure out what was wrong with my vision. So later, as an adult, when I encountered stereographs, but more of the ones that had scenes, it happened to be the time when I was working on this other kind of global collage work, and I realized that I could collage in 3D if I was to use stereographs. And that really excited me, but I didn't do anything with it for a few years, and then I got a show and proposed that this would be what I try to do, and then I had to figure out how to do it.